What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode, or should I say the first episode of the new year of the Balanced Perception YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about helmets, specifically finishing, as you can tell by the title of this video, and we're going to talk about the differences in actually just sanding them and priming them, which spray paint to use, which paint to use, whatever. A lot of information to go over, so let's hop to it. So if you guys saw in my last video where I created this marine helmet from Fallout, it was done over the course of a few days, and all I really did was sand it and paint it. Well, print it, sand it, and then paint it, and of course we put in our visor. But if you were looking to get, more quality out of your items, I'm not gonna lie, this helmet looks phenomenal. But up close you can see a lot of the layer lines on it. If you would like to get rid of a lot of those layer lines, you're gonna have to do a lot of post-work processing. Taking our Gachi Akuda helmet here, Engine's helmet, we did a little bit more on him. We sanded him for a little bit longer. We also changed some of our print settings to get a better finish. I changed the layer height from, I think it was 0.5 to 0.2, thus meaning the layers are gonna be more compact and squished together. So that's one of the things you can do to get your helmets to come out better. And specifically the front part here looks phenomenal. The back part, not so much, because of course, I don't really care because not many people are looking at the back part of your helmet. It's just this bland, white area. But it still looks great, but I mean, it could be better. So don't really care though, back part of the helmet. So we are actually going to be working on a new helmet today, our Red Hood Legion helmet. And this is from Yosh Studios also. I went ahead and I sanded this last night. The rest of the pieces are out in the garage. And then I hit it with our filler sandable primer. And that right there should get rid of, and it has this, you guys can't tell because you're not right up on it, but it has gotten rid of a lot of the layer lines. So what I did was I sanded this for about 10 minutes with my electric sander, just went over the whole thing. And then I hit it with the filler primer. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with that word. Anyways, I hit it with that, and then now I'm going to go back in the garage, hit it with another sanding round, wipe all that off, and go ahead and hit it with our spray paint. Then we're going to compare the final of this helmet versus this helmet versus this helmet. Hopefully I can get as much detail for you as I can, but it may be kind of difficult. Regardless, I'm gonna give it a shot. So we're gonna head out to the garage, finish sanding this, spray paint it, then we have to actually assemble it, then we'll talk about it. Again, a lot to do, so let's get to it. We are back from the garage. Our red paint has dried for the most part. It's dry to the touch. Again, that is why I love spray paint so much, because it dries extremely fast. As I said, we can touch it, pick it up, nothing on our hands, we're good to go. So even without running my fingers across or anything, I can already tell this print is so much smoother than our helmet over here. Hopefully you guys can hear this. Let's see. I got a printer running in the background there, my SV08 Max. It's kind of loud. Hopefully you guys can hear this. I did not really sand this print. I kind of just spray painted it, so listen. You can hear the layer lines. That's my fingers going across all the different layer lines. Again, it looks fine. There's no issue with it. I would just prefer if I didn't really, have that. Now let's pick up a piece such as this, run our fingers across. You hear nothing because all the layer lines are gone. It's been smoothed down. So each layer line was shaved down, with sanding, and then in between each line, we filled it with primer, which made it all level again, and then we sanded it down again, and then we covered it with spray paint, thus making one even, unanimous layer across the top, which is why these pieces are so much smoother than that. Again, you don't always have to go into this type of detail when you create 3D prints. It just kind of depends on what you want to do or how you want it to look. Engine over here, I kind of did it just for the front, as I've said, not so much for the back, because again, no one cares about the back. So, moving on to the next part of this project, we're going to go ahead and start gluing together our pieces here. Actually, I take that back. Before that, we unfortunately have to paint all of the rims here in black. Then we will glue everything together. We are going to hand paint that because I don't feel like taping off everything, just to paint, you know, one little tiny area. So more or less, we're just going to go ahead and hand paint that. So let's get to that. So we now have everything painted. We've got our black outline, we've got our red on there. We are pretty much good to go from here. Next part is to just go ahead and start gluing everything together. We have to glue the front piece, of course, on right here, like so. And then these parts go on the side. And we have to put our magnets in. And the magnets are only in this piece right here. As you can see, never paint the inside because I don't care about that. And then we have magnets on, actually the piece in the garage still, which is down there. But we're gonna go ahead and get the next part going. And then we will basically be done after we glue everything together. So let's get to it.
A few moments later.
And just like that, we have everything assembled. I went ahead and I glued all the magnet pieces in, glued everything together. And I want to show you guys how everything fits together. So this is obviously the helmet completely assembled. This is how it looks. Absolutely phenomenal. Definitely one of the best pieces I've made, if I had to say so myself. But anyways, let's see here. First, we have the right side of the helmet. If you know, if the helmet's looking at you guys, this is the right side. You can pop this off. Well, actually first you have to take off the bottom piece down here, which is this black piece down here. Well, first we got off the chin part right here. That comes off with magnets. The bottom piece, magnets also comes off. The right side of the helmet comes off, and the left side of the helmet comes off, leaving you with the main piece right here. So I actually only used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, so I used 5 out of the 6 magnets that were needed, just because I didn't want to waste all my magnets. Because this thing in total takes, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That makes 10 on that side, 20 for both of these. And then you have these right down here in the bottom. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, which makes another 8. So that's 28. And then 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, that's 36 magnets so far. Then we accounted for this, 37, 38, 39, then the other side, 40, 41, 42 magnets that we had to use to make this helmet. That's a good little bit. So yeah, I just wanted to conserve just a few of them, and that actually, you know, we'll use for another project. But yeah, that's how everything goes together. I'll put it back together for you guys. So first we put on the right side here, literally the magnets keep it in place. Left side here, magnets keep it in place. Whoops. Oh, there we go, put that pipe back on. And then we've got our bottom here, like so. And then we've got top piece here, the chin part, and like so. And everything is now back together. Absolutely phenomenal design, very great helmet, loving it. And just like that, all good things must come to an end, and we are finally at the part where we get to try on our helmet, make sure it fits. If you are actually printing helmets also, make sure that they do fit. Prior to finishing everything, I have had helmets that I basically got to the end point and they didn't fit the way I wanted because either I sanded something or took away things from it. Regardless, make sure they fit the way you want. Anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this on. I will actually put this helmet on with all the pieces attached simply because it's very difficult for me to get it on with my hair, trying to, you know, pack it down. It's a lot more difficult. So I'm just gonna put it on like so, with the back piece on, as you guys can see, the side pieces, as you can see. So let's go ahead and get this on. I will admit, it's a bit tighter when you do it this way, but nonetheless, it still works and it fits like so. Then we just have to snap the bottom chin piece in like so, and we are good to go. As you can see, the helmet is on, no issues whatsoever. There is a decent amount of space in here, so if you want, you can definitely add padding. Yeah, and I actually may even put something right here over the eyes to make them glow. But yeah, it's a great helmet. I absolutely love it. Definitely one of the best ones I've made so far. I will probably have to just put some padding in here to make some adjustments so that it sits on my head more so like this, the way I want, just a little bit more pushed to the front. But without, you know, any adjustments at all, I could definitely wear this at a convention. Great helmet. I really like this one. One of the best ones I made of these three so far. I probably have to say that this one is my favorite, just because of the way that all the magnets fit together, the way that it looks. It's by far one of my favorite helmets, and it probably took the longest, so that, you know, makes sense. Anyways, let's go ahead and take this off so that you guys can hear me. Let's just take it off in pieces like so. There we go. Whew, yeah. It is a phenomenal helmet, but like all helmets, it can be a little, you know, constraining. Anyways though, definitely love the way this helmet came out. Phenomenal file by Yosh Studios. I love the way everything snaps together, just, you know, great quality overall. But before we end our video, we of course still have to talk a little bit about the construction of everything, and with that in you know, regards to how we finished this helmet compared to how we finished these. So again, you guys remember when I ran my fingers over this one, we could still hear the layer lines over this one versus that one. Much more silent because the layer lines have been smoothed down. Engine, you can hear it a little bit, but nothing with this one. So yeah, as I can say, it's better to sand things down if you want that, you know, smoother look. What we did again is a quick recap for this helmet. We went ahead, sanded down, you know, the primed helmet, the one that came right off the printer. Then we primed it with filler sander primer. I will link that, of course, for you. Then we went ahead and sanded down the filler sander primer. Then we hit it with spray paint, about 2 or 3 layers. So all that in combination made this much smoother than these guys over here. Not saying you need to do all of that for any helmet. That's just what I chose to do for this one. As you can see, I didn't do it for these two, and they still look absolutely phenomenal. So if you know, are crunched on time, don't think that you have to go through all these steps. You of course can just go ahead and spray paint your raw print, because I know we all wait till the last moment right before conventions to, you know, work on these projects. So your helmet will look good. It just all comes down to preference. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed making it. I have so many more, you know, projects planned for this year. This is the first video of this year. I still, of course, need to finish my Lich King armor. I keep getting distracted by projects like these, but it is still in the works, and I have to unfortunately admit that I have been working on another armor. And I promised myself I would finish my Lich King armor, but promises are being broken in terms of 3D printing, unfortunately. So stay tuned for that video in the future. Many more to come. We have a great year coming up. And as always, thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. If you like this video, if you have any comments, feel free to drop them below. I would greatly appreciate it. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for checking it out. And until next time, stay balanced. See you all. Bye-bye.